Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Say hello to Candy and Glynis.
Waiting for my YouTube to come up.
Your YouTube doesn't have to come up.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, everybody. Jello.
If you wait for YouTube to come up, then what they're seeing is 10 seconds of dead air. Because when you see it on YouTube, it's what was filmed 10 seconds ago with that delay. It will never be right with YouTube. I'm just getting us up on YouTube here.
Hi, Judy. Hi, Margie. There's Toby. There's Sandy. There's Sheila.
All right. Who has a YouTube open? Glynis?
Toby, Sandy. Sheila.
Yeah, I just muted mine.
Mine's muted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, that's not the one. Sorry. Toby. Margie was first one in. Hey, Margie. Oh, Margie, tornadoes?
Yeah.
Margie and tornadoes. You know, no big deal until it takes out your electricity and it's super hot. So that is a big deal. And what is with all the notifications all of a sudden? There we are. Okay.
I just want to say something.
Okay.
If Gigi comes in, I can't remember if she makes Thursday Mass makes or not. But
She
today
does
is her
sometimes.
birthday.
She does sometimes. It all depends.
Today's her birthday.
Okay, then we will say happy birthday to her if she makes it in. Hi, Toby. Yep, Central Wisconsin had a tornado. Whew. That's a little close, Margie. That's a little close. An hour from you.
Oh, yeah.
Knocked your electricity off for quite a while. That is the worst when it is so hot. It has been the high 90s here. And oh, that's awful. Off again today while the cleanup crew was cutting away the trees. Shoot. Let's see who else is here. Don't blame me for wanting that vote. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Margie, the old trick of when I grew up, we didn't have air conditioning in the house here. And so it's so hard to sleep when there's no air conditioning. And we get a washcloth and get it wet, really cold water wet, and then put it around our neck. The old pioneer tricks. Hi, Judy. Jello, Jello. Judy's here. Let's see who else is here. I gotta scroll up. Jeopardy music. Oh, hi, Sheila. Good to see you. Hey, Sandy. Didn't Sandy do a good job making the journal with us? And I'm glad you put photos in because it's really beautiful. Really is for beauty. Yeah, Margie did that for too many years. Yep. As a kid, we're gonna start doing it again. So the journal is made. We've sewn the signatures in. Do we want to do one more day where we decorate it together? We can do that. We could take all the things from our mass makes and anything else you might have, and we can decorate it. I'm going to use it as an idea book, and so I want to take the things from the mass makes. You might not be using it as an idea book, so you might be decorating it differently. But what do you think? What do you think, guys? Do we want to take another day and decorate it together, or do you want to decorate it on your own?
You take one more day and just decorate it.
Just want to make sure that everybody actually gets it decorated because, do one start to finish. I can see this big old glare on my glasses, and it's awful. I haven't worn glasses in years until the last couple of years, and I've had these weird eye things going on, and so I haven't been able to wear.
I think if you don't decorate it, a lot of people might not finish it.
Okay. And that was my thought. I want to make sure that it gets finished.
One more.
And if we're going to use it as an idea book, then we can go back and take one from everything that we've done so far this year. Okay, so if we've done 20-something weeks of mass make, you've got one of each of those. And then, like, we had a doily Monday where we did, 10 different ways to use doily. There's 10 things right there. And then we had... didn't we have like 15 one-hit wonders or something? Things to do with one page, one sheet of paper?
Yeah,
there's another 10 or 15 right there. This book can get filled really fast. So don't think because it's really big that it's going to take forever to fill it. It's not. And we still have a second half of the year available to do mass makes to get things in there. So let's do that. And Sandy, love to have you come back on to complete the series of decorating it.
Anything to keep Sandy online.
Sandy was great. Sandy was great online. Oh, now I can see on my non-makeup face. It's hard to see with the glasses.
Sandy was interesting with Sandy is how much she sounds like Debbie. She talks the same and she sounds the same.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all. But maybe I'll have to go back and listen. Very interesting. Let me run something else by you. Okay, so this coming Monday, I'm going to be out of town. I will be at in a hotel, and I'll be in a hotel until Monday afternoon, and then I'll be in an Airbnb. So either way, I could do the live. It's noon to 2, so I could do the live from there. So I can take my things with me, and we can decorate the books and just make this the third part 3 in a row, so that we get them completely decorated this week. Or we can push that off till next week, and I can find somewhere to take you out of town and have Candy and Glennis, Debbie, all 3 if they're available on here, and I will log in from my phone so you'll actually see and take you with me wherever I'm going. I know this town has a Tuesday morning that is still open, and I'm going to go. Whether you go along with me or not, I'm going to go to Tuesday morning. But there might be a couple of cool, like there's a cool downtown, an old-fashioned, what do you call it? Not old-fashioned, but what do you call that? Like 1900s.
Historic.
Old time, like a downtown where they have like a general store. One of the types of old original general stores, and I don't know what all the other stores are there. Historic, that's what they call it. A historic downtown where they've got specific shops and a general store and things like that. So is that something that, although I might not be able to get to that on Monday, do you want to go with me to Tuesday morning? Would you like to go with me to an art museum or someplace like that, or a botanical garden kind of place?
The garden sounds cool.
It does. So I'm kind of watching the weather. I know it can change in 5 minutes. So, let's see. Yes. Okay. Alrighty then. Sandy's either Monday. Sandy, you're great. I love you. Alrighty then. I'm on again.
So then we can put our orders in with you right while you're there.
For Tuesday morning. Or for whatever.
We don't have a Tuesday morning in Canada.
Yeah, and all of ours here have been shut down, and there's one left open in the whole Salt Lake Valley, and they're not carrying craft supplies anymore.
Oh boy,
that's sad. So honestly, I don't know if this one, I probably could call ahead, but I don't know if this one in this little town is carrying craft supplies. So I'd have to ask. Maybe it's Tuesday morning altogether that's getting away from craft supplies, which is pretty sad because I think they did pretty big business on craft supplies. So,
though.
Again?
They might have the napkins.
Yes, I would think they'll still have napkins and plates and pretty boxes and things like that.
Yeah,
the
napkins are pretty in there too.
Yeah, that's true. They do have good napkins. So on, so feedback on Monday. Do you want to finish the books decorating them this Monday, or should we find something to do where I can take you along on my camera?
I vote for the camera.
Okay. Candy, what do you think?
Camera's fine with me. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm open to anything.
So Glennis and Candy, can you both be here Monday so that you could be on here? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be here Monday. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I say that, but you know what happened today. So.
Yes.
So, I'll be there. No problem.
Okay. And I would log into StreamYard on the camera, and I gotta find someplace cool. We'll go explore something.
Yeah, right now Monday's good for me.
Okay, cool. All right, let's plan on doing that. And then the following, if something happens and that entirely blows up.
Margie's for take us along too.
Okay, cool. All right. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I have a brand new piece of equipment that I've never used, and it's, you could call it a selfie stick, but it's not. It's like the most expensive selfie stick I've ever seen. Because it's supposed to do, and this is why I got it, it's supposed to equalize and balance. So like as I'm walking around, if I take you with me, that you don't get this, up and down movement as we're walking along.
You mean you don't glide like a beauty queen, Marianne?
I used to in high school when I marched with the flag corps, and they made us do that or bopped you on the head. Oh, I can't do that anymore. My hips being replaced, they don't have
excuses.
Don't have the same glide anymore. But that can be dizzying. So this thing is supposed to be self-balancing for the camera. So we're going to try it out. Hope it works well. Okay. On another note, don't know if anybody noticed already, because I know it's still kind of early in the day. Well, but the name of the Happy Paper People public Facebook page changed this morning.
Oh, okay.
It changed this morning. I feel like it is too confusing to everyone if they're both called Happy Paper People. It's very confusing. They can't separate them. And if people are not super familiar with the difference in the page and the private group, and so it is called Happy Paper People Create. And the username is at HPP Create. And because, we're all happy paper people and we love to create. So Happy Paper People Create. And I chose that because the website that I'm working on, I've been telling you guys that I've been working on a website, and it's taken a bit because I'm doing it all myself. The name of the URL, the name of the website is going to be www, but you don't have to put in the www. I've set it up so that it does not require that. It will be hppcreate.com. hppcreate.com. So I wanted it to be easy to remember with the page if I gave it a new name to separate it from the private group that we're all in. We all need a stabilizer, Judy. Oh, I think we need more than one kind of stabilizer. So just so you know, the website that's coming really soon is going to be hppcreate.com. And the new public page is Happy Paper People Create. That's what HPP stands for, obviously. So I am really excited because as I'm putting this website together, doing all kinds of cool things and getting things set up in the background, working on a lot of other relationships and setting up accounts and things. I've gotten a lot of private messages asking if I had certain products. And I always hate saying no, because unless I have a good place to refer you to find it at a decent price, I just hate, and people have told me they've been looking for this and just can't seem to find it, or it's, just way expensive and it doesn't feel like it should be or whatever. So just a little teaser. I am working on getting into the website for us all, like Tim Holtz and Ranger items and Craft Consortium. Love a lot of their paper. Prima, Finnabar. Love Finnabar mediums and waxes and things like that. A lot of people have asked for.
Should we just hand you our credit card?
Oh my goodness. Say that again.
I think that's what she's going for. We're just your credit card.
I'm going for a way to let you shop on the website and be able to spend more time with you.
Amia's come in.
Oh, hi, Ame. How are you? That's me. I was the one asking. Yeah, you were one of the ones. It's funny that when you ask, I actually got two other messages same day asking for some of the same things. And Finnabar is I'm asked for a lot. And there are some cool mediums and media there that I would like to try. So I'm really excited about that. So we will plan. Hmm. I can't keep secrets. I tell you guys everything. I want to get as many of those products at least available as I can, and we'll do a great big launch, like a grand opening of the website, and I will find a way for you to get a nice discount code. So if you go in and order, you'll get a nice discount. That's a nice thank you for Happy Paper People. And then ongoing, if you would like to join Patreon, we have a lot of fun on Patreon Lives, smaller group, and just a lot of fun. If you'd like to join Patreon, it's not in there yet, so you can't see what level or what it is yet, but there will be permanent discount on the website for certain level of Patreon. So you can tuck that in the back of your mind, but I will find a discount code to set up right away on the launch, on the grand opening for all Happy Paper People. So that's kind of exciting. And the subscription box will be going. The first thing I will have set up a way for you to go in and put your email if you want to receive information about the subscription box. And so then the information can come out as soon as it is completely organized and ready to go so that you can choose whether you want to opt into that. And I'm excited about that too. I've been curating some special products. Maybe I should put a poll out in the group just to ask, but there's a couple things that I'm thinking about. In a subscription box, would you rather see it be like a theme every month? Or would you rather see it be just a bunch of cool items that you could use? We talked about, I think it was last week, we talked about having, I don't know if it'll be right at the beginning, but actually probably two subscription boxes. One that would be paper crafting, and one that would be mixed media, because not everybody wants both. Some want one and not the other. Some want both. But if they're not in one box, if they're in two subscription boxes, it could be a lower price point. So if somebody wanted both, they're paying the same as they would if it was in one box. But if they don't want both, they don't have to pay for that box and only want half of what's in there. So paper crafting, mixed media, two separate things. And, they could be done in themes. They could be done in just cool stuff to use, in those two areas. What are your thoughts on that? Margie, like themes?
I like themes.
You like themes?
If you didn't want to do one every month, even if you did one every other month, that would be nice.
Okay. So maybe every other month is all even months are themes and all odd months aren't?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes there's
Even more color, more broad, like color.
Yeah, okay.
I want to do specific, do something that's more broad, like a color theme or something.
Okay. Doesn't have to be
You can do themes, but I just think you have to.
Butterflies, bees, and dragonflies. It could just be black and white or blue or
Blue and tan.
or green colors.
Specific themes, but I think you gotta have some months where it's just something similar, something smaller, something.
Yeah. Because sometimes I come across just really cool products, and it doesn't necessarily. Well, I guess it could fit in. There's some things that could fit in with any theme. Some basic things that we would use. And I'm really trying to curate some products that we don't get all the time or have access to all the time, or that we've never seen.
You could do the you gotta have it theme.
Every subscription box is the same thing. You gotta have it. Now, Candy, that's a great name for the subscription box. Oh, I'm not a huge fan of themes. That's okay. That's
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. You gotta have some that are more generic type themes, like
Mhm.
color or yeah.
I think one would have to be butterflies, flowers, and lace.
Well, yeah, sure. But
Butterflies-
I mean, there's times that themes are okay, but there's times that nah.
Agree. And you know what? The theme, if I said the theme is butterflies, you might have one thought about what that means, and somebody else might have a different thought about what that means, and they both might be completely off. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
So that's kind of hard too. It might be easier to say spring theme or a fall theme or
Okay.
vacation. Well, and steampunk, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty specific. So then they know if they don't like steampunk, they're not going to get that.
Yeah. And I would like them to be broad enough that everybody, I know that when we get things like this, we can never use or care to use every single product in there. And so sometimes you swap with somebody. I love steampunk. I'll take that and you can have my this, if you want to swap with somebody. Or, we use them as gifts or whatever. But I would really like it to be so that almost always you use everything, that you love everything in there or almost everything. I don't want it to be, there's one or two things, there's usually one thing that I really like and the rest of it I don't. That to me is a waste of money. I don't want you to buy something that is that. I want it to be very usable and very fun. Alice, cats. Ame, your theme is gotta have it box. I like that. I've actually started ordering a few products for the boxes. And so I'm really anxious to get this website set up so that we can get the emails in there and I can do all the behind the scenes work. 2-track mind to get them rolling. So yes, definitely keep an eye out for that. And I do just want to make sure that I have plenty of stock in there for a grand opening, because if I give you a code and you go in there and there's hardly anything for you to get, I don't want you to waste a one-time code. For me, if I'm going to buy one thing, I won't use the code. I'll wait till I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff. I want to use the code, get a bigger discount. So
or buy one big thing.
Yeah, exactly. I always try to look at it like how would I use it as a consumer, because I am a consumer and I do the same thing, on other websites. Or how would I like to see that? Or, a grand opening with 4 products and there's not very exciting. So, yeah, give it all to me. Whoop, whoop. Ame, your package is ready to go. That can go out tonight, actually. So, all right. Are you ready to craft? What time is it? All right. We've only lost a half an hour. We haven't lost. It was a fun discussion with you. Let me just catch up here. See if there's anything else on the comments. Don't give it all to Ame. Oh, awesome, Ame. It's ready to go. It'll go out this afternoon then. When we're done, I'll run to the post office. Yeah, after last time, Ame got all those books that you guys told her she had to have. The windows and the doors and the frames. She's going to love them. She's going to love them. So, okay. So let's get to crafting. Let's switch the camera here. And today's, I didn't worry about taking this time. I wanted to spend some time talking with you because today's is super easy. It is super easy. It is for every level of crafter from, let me just check here on our audio. Okay, we're good. From brand new, just starting to, been doing it for 30, 40 years. It's okay. Here's how this came about. I asked Glennis. It's Glennis's fault. I was talking to Glennis and I said, Glennis, I'm working on what we're going to make for Mass Make on Thursday. Anything you'd like to see? And what did Glennis say? What'd you say, Glennis? Do you remember?
An over a page flippy floppy things with things that move.
No. Okay. It wasn't quite all that.
Well, I know, but that's what I remember.
What she said was, I really like things that have flips and flaps and flips and flaps in them, and maybe something that goes over the page. Well, I ignored the over the page part.
Okay.
Although you just made me think of a variation of it that could go over the page. Great. And I sat down and created something with flippy flappies. And there are a bunch of variations that you could do. And you will see as we do this how you could do the variations. So if you read the description box, it said just have 2 pieces of coordinating paper. So I figure I'll make one from here and one from here, and then I can grab some more. These are 8.5 by 11, and you will get. Well, we'll get to that in a second. You can use 8.5 by 11 or 12 by 12. Doesn't make any difference. It doesn't matter if they're single-sided or double-sided. Both of these happen to be single-sided. If they are double-sided, I would say it would be nice if one side. Okay, where are all my prototypes? Where did all the prototypes go? Seriously? They're all just sitting right here on the desk. Really good. Okay, here we go. If they are double-sided, that's single-sided. This one's double-sided. It would be nice if one side is writable. You can write on it and still see. This has a pattern, but it's light enough, and it actually kind of gives me lines with these rows of polka dots. It's nice because that's writing space. Okay, so let me show you a couple, and I'll show you a couple variations, and then we'll do one, and we can work on variations if you want. It's just super easy. All right, so it's got a waterfall flip up here, and you've got writing space. You could come in before you even glue this together and put a stencil and just do a little bit of stenciling just to, cut the white glare if you wanted to, or if you like to write on the white paper, leave it. I didn't ink this one at all. This is pink. I don't know if you can tell that because it's pretty bright light. So with the brown polka dots, this is pink with tiny white, looks like somebody flecked paint on it. Okay, and then you've got the second waterfall, and so that's writing space. You could also write here if you wanted. And then here's a pocket. And this is just the same as the pink. And it just took a scrap of the brown polka dot to tie it together and put it in there. And then a scrap of the brown, made another little card to write on. Okay, and then there's a side pocket here that has a card in it. Again, just a piece of the pink with some scalloped corners and a strip of the brown. You can turn it either way you want to write on it. I found that putting it in, it's easier to be able to grab hold of the thickest part. To put it in there, it gives you more stability. Talking about stabilizers. Okay, so if I made it like this, then my intention is they can all be floaters. Doesn't make any difference. But my intention is probably to glue this down, and then I would have these on the page, and you can put more things in here, and then you would have this side pocket to pull, because it's glued down. Okay, as opposed to second sample, this one's a double-sided one, and I can still write on here. It's very legible, as you can see. This one, you see where the second one is attached here. On the first one, you didn't see where it was attached. Still at the pocket, but you don't have a pocket here. But you see where it's attached because there is a pocket back here. Okay, so this one could also be glued to the page with a pocket here, just not the one on the side. Actually, I suppose you could. Just glue 3 sides down there and have another pocket on the side. Paper just isn't like flexible or stretchable where you're going to have a ton of room, but you could. So that's why I said there's so many different variations of how to do them. I'll show you how we got this from the opposite side on here, and then just another little card. And this is just the same paper. I just took the scraps to make tags to go in there. Super easy. Okay, so there's side pocket and a front pocket. There's 2 pockets and the 2 waterfalls. This one has the back pocket and the front pocket and 2 waterfalls. Here's another sample, the black and white. I left this one white as well because black and white, it seemed logical. I haven't inked this one either. Just made these so you could see them as samples. This one does have a side pocket. This one, okay, the first two are cardstock. They're fairly light, but they're cardstock. This one is paper, just little scrapbook paper. And so it doesn't have the thickness and the stability. And so when I made a tag to go in here, it's just trying to put a piece of paper in there is a little more difficult because there's not much to it. So I cut one piece that was twice as wide, gave it a little spine with another scrap, and that is like double thick now. So it's easier to stick it in, and it's just a bigger writing pad to go in there. And then this one here, same thing. It's just a little tag, but the tag itself is pretty, flimsy because it's just paper, not cardstock. And so I cut out two and just used a scrap of the black to go over the top to connect them. And so that's writing space there. So I could do that. I could make larger ones to go in here. I could make all sizes, larger, something like this, something tall and thin, something medium. There's just so many things that you can do with it or stick into it. And you see how, the variations that you can just really do whatever you want with it. So Glynis, when you said flippy floppies, and I'm thinking, and we always like pockets, this is exactly what came to my mind. So I just sat down and started, figuring that out. I did make a couple of mistakes, but figured them out. Okay, so we are going to need 3 pieces of paper to make this basic. We're going to need 3 pieces of paper, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, 1 and 3 are going to be your flap and your pocket. So you can choose if you have 2 pieces of paper that are front and back, they're double-sided, and you can get this out of 2 pieces of paper, but you can decide which side you want to be the front and the back before you cut it. And then number 2 is a smaller piece on the inside. So I'm going to do 2 contrasting ones here. I just found this and I thought this bird might be a fun one to put up here on the flap. So number 1 piece, which is this piece right here, the outside flap, what you'll see most of. Number 1 piece needs to be 9 1/4 inches by 3 1/2. So 9 1/4 by 3 1/2. It's going to be 3 1/2 wide. 3 1/2 wide. I never cut this ahead of time, so I can do it with you. So I'm not running on ahead while you're still trying to cut your paper. Okay, there's 3 1/2, and I guess I'm going to need the other paper trimmer to get the 9 1/2. Forgot about that. All right. And I know I want to use this bird, so I'm going to measure from that end. It's 9 1/4. I keep saying 9 1/2. 9 1/4 by 3 1/2. 9 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I have on a 9 1/2 by 8 1/2 by 11. I have just a little piece. Okay, so there's number 1. That is 9 1/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, number 2 is the contrasting piece underneath. Okay, and this one I used the same paper. I just turned it upside down for the number 2, so I'd have the contrast. But the one I'm doing now, I'm going to use a different piece of paper. So number 2, the second waterfall needs to be 5 by 3 1/2. That one I can cut the short way. And I will do 3 1/2 this direction. Okay, and I'll keep all the scraps because you can use all those little scraps to embellish tags, and you can make a tiny book, a mini book to put in there. And I'm going to go 5 this direction. So 5 by 3 1/2. All right, so there's my 5 by 3 1/2. That's number 2. Now, number three is the bottom that houses the pocket. And I'm going to go back to my first paper for number 3. And I could look at this and say, well, that flower would be really nice to have on the pocket there if it folded that way. So if I want to try to get that in, then I'm going to cut 3.5 this direction. This one needs to be 8.5 by 3.5. 8.5. So the only one that's not a half is the first one, and it's 9.25. But 8.5. Truth be told, we could deal with 9.5 on that one. Keep them all halves, but you know, why make it easy? Got to keep you awake, right? Come get your crap. That's awesome. Yeah, we always call it crap, right? But we wouldn't give it up in a second. Okay, so this one is 8.5 by 3.5. And if I look at this, I know I'm going to end up scoring this at 2.5 inches. That's going to put part of the flower there. I could get a little more of the flower there if I cut off some of the end of this, but I just want to make sure it's 8.5. But I don't want to cut the whole flower off, so I'm going to cut this down closer to the flower so that can be on my pocket, and then I'll turn it around. See, this is why it's easier to have non-directional paper. These polka dots, these patterns, they're great. Then you don't have to think about this, because now I know that can be my pocket right there. So this one is 8.5. Double check myself. 8.5 by 3.5. Now I can get rid of the paper trimmer. Okay, so I have number 1 that is 9.25 by 3.5. I have number 2 that is 5 by 3.5, and I have number 3 that is 8.5 by 3.5. Now, once you've made this, you'll realize, obviously, that you can make it in any size you want. So you could repeat the same process with smaller paper, smaller scraps, and have a teeny tiny one, with larger paper and have a larger one that would fill the whole page. Okay, so if you've got those 3, now we're going to grab our scoreboard, and a little one will work fine. Big one, you know, it doesn't matter because we're only scoring, because these are only 3.5, and we're scoring this direction. Okay, so let's start with piece number 1 that is 9.25 by 3.5. Piece number 1 is the top pocket. So whatever end, if it's any difference, like mine has the bird, I want the bird to be on the flap. So that's the end I want to score, and I'm going to score it at 3.5 inches. I just had my bone folder. I was just playing with it, literally, in my hand while we were talking. I put it up there. Hold of it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to score it at 3.5 inches. I can see with that big old glare, 3.5. Okay, so set that one back. And now number 2. Number 2 is the second waterfall. And what I'm scoring for is this piece that's going to be glued down for the flip up. So it doesn't matter if they're all the same. Choose either end or choose whatever end you want to be glued down there. I like this has some distressing, some aged over here, so I'd like that. I'm going to score the other end. And this one we score at 1 inch.
Marianne, for number 2, I think I got my measurements wrong.
Number 2 is 5 by 3.5.
Okay, that's what I've got, but somehow it doesn't look like yours.
Well, it does look kind of small compared to the others, but it's 5 by 3.5. If that's what you've got, you're good. Okay, and then number 3. When we go to put it together, you'll know, Glynis.
Yeah, no, I've got 5 by 4.5. That's what my problem.
Oh, that's why it looked more square than rectangle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll fix that right now.
Perfect. Okay, number 3 is the piece down here with the pocket. And we are going to score for this pocket here. So if I want the flower to be on the pocket, I'm going to score at the flower end. And we are going to score this one at 2.5. Okay, so I will repeat those one more time. Number 1 is 9.25 by 3.5, and we scored it at 3.5 inches. Number 2 is 5 by 3.5, and we scored that at 1 inch, just to be able to adhere it. Number 3 is 8.5 by 3.5, and we scored that at 2.5 inches to be able to give us the pocket. So now you can set your scoreboard aside for a moment. I need to get a drink. Okay. All right, Glennis, are you there?
I just have to do my last score.
Okay, perfect.
At
Give me a
2.5.
second so we can. When I say are you there, I don't mean are you there here. I meant are you there at the point of going on?
Yes, I am.
You knew what I meant.
Yeah.
I know you're here.
I'm not all there, but I'm here.
I'm not all there, but I am here.
There's 1, 2, and 3.
You don't have to be all there to fit in with this group, right, guys? Okay, so now let's put it together. You're going to need some glue. I would use glue rather than double stick tape on this one. Let's start with piece number 3. Piece number 3. So if you just lay them out like this, it's easy to. Piece number 3 is shorter than number 1. Make sure you're not grabbing the long one, the tall one. Piece number 3 is the middle size, but it's shorter than number 1. Okay, and I'm going to fold it on the score mark. Now, if it's not exactly straight, that's the beauty of score marks. Just line it up perfectly straight and then burnish it down, because score marks really give you probably close to a 1/16 of an inch of leeway of adjusting where it folds.
Okay.
Hey, KK. Good to see you. Okay, so that is our pocket. And now we want to glue. And I only want to glue the 2 sides so we can stick something in the pocket. So I always put my thumb on the side that I do not want to put glue, because especially if I'm talking, I can put glue all over the place and then don't have a pocket. So if my thumb's there, I just know that that's the side not to put any glue. It doesn't take very much, so I'm putting a very thin bead of glue down there.
Or you can put a thumb hole in it and then not glue the thumb hole side.
You could. Yeah, actually you could. You could put a thumb notch in right there. If you think you might want to stick things down far enough that you need to be able to grab them there, because on this one you can put like large, medium, and small things all in the same pocket. There's plenty of room. Okay, so here's our pocket. Everybody's got their pocket. That is number 3.
Yep.
Okay, the next thing let's do is grab, and I'll show. We're gonna make this one first that has the side pocket. Okay, so grab number 2, and we're gonna fold that on the score mark. And you can always tell my white side, that's my back of my paper, because it's not double-sided. Okay, so I folded it back so that I can see my print, because remember, this is our second waterfall flap. Okay, and now if you pick up 3 and slide 2 over the top of it, like that, that's our second waterfall. It should come down and cover the pocket, so it's like a hidden pocket. And then in the back, you should have just this little flap right here. And all we're going to glue is this little flap down. By gluing that, here's the one that you can see. This one's in the front, so don't let that confuse you. We're not doing this one. But you can see we only glue the little flap so that we can move that up and down. So I will take this and I'm going to hold number 3 with it. So it's all in place, ready to go. And then I'm going to just put glue on the flap, not on the little flap. Sorry, hope that wasn't confusing. On the little flap, I always put glue on the smaller of the 2 pieces that I'm gluing together. That way you always know exactly, I've got a goober in there. That way you always know exactly where to stop. If you put glue on the larger of the 2 pieces, you don't really know exactly where to stop unless you've marked it. But that's just more measurement and more pencil marks. And you could get glue on the outside, then you have to, wipe it off or wait for it to dry and get it off with a glue eraser. Okay, so number 3 is the base, and then this is number 2, the first flap. That should be glued on right there. All right, let me get the glue goober out so it'll actually come out of the spout. Oh, another thing I want to carry on the website is these little pointy tips, these tiny little silver tips that some of you have told me have been hard to find at a decent price, and pins and the silicone, knitting needle covers. I always forget what they're called. The silicone hats that go over the tip is what I'm always thinking. Okay, so that is number 2. Now let's take piece number 1. Piece number 1.
And it says you need to carry glue erasers too.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Thank you, Linda.
I get mine at the Dollar Tree.
Oh, nice. I'll see if I can get them in bulk and get them for $1. That would be really great. And I know some people don't have Dollar Trees available, but yeah, these are great. When you go to use them, and hi, Linda. I don't know if I got a chance to say hi to you. Let the glue dry, and then it comes off very easily. I don't know. It's just a funky kind of eraser, but it erases glue. It just picks up that glue and moves it right off. Okay, so number 3 is going to be the outside flap, which is, okay, that's not the one we're doing. That has the thing on the back. This is the one we're doing that has the side pocket. So this outside flap, the last one, the front, very top, this is what you're going to see. That is our end where we've got the score mark. So let's fold that one back. Let's line it up and make sure I scored it straight. I don't know if it's the scoreboard or me, but it doesn't always score straight. I'm burnishing these down a little bit because you do have several layers here and it can get kind of thick if you're using cardstock. That's why I prefer a light cardstock or paper. Okay, and this one is going to go just like this. So then we have our top first waterfall, our second waterfall, and our hidden pocket here. So the only thing we need to make now, before we glue that down, is our side pocket over here, right? So when I glue this down, I know that I need to be able to get in this side. So I only want to glue 3 sides, across the top, across the bottom. Go ahead.
It's the $1.25 tree now.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
I forgot.
Yes, it's true. Glue across the top and across the bottom, and then along the left-hand side. Or if you want the pocket to be on the left, glue on the right. But I don't want to confuse you. Okay, I'm going to keep a finger or a thumb on the side that I do not want to put glue on. I know I need glue on 3 sides, so I'll just keep that thumb there. You know, you could put a thumb notch in that one too if you wanted. But I don't want, because it actually this is the part that would be glued to the book. So, ooh, it's a good thing my thumb was there, because I almost went like this and started to glue there, and I went, nope, there's a thumb there. See what happens when I'm talking while I work. Okay, so now I'm going to just slide this right in. so that those folds go together. Folds go together, then I know it's in. I'll make sure the sides are even. I can trim up if my sides are off just a little bit. I can trim that up later. Then I'm going to lay it down, and I know I've got glue on 3 sides, so I want to make sure to burnish 3 sides. Now you will notice that your piece number 1 is not as long as piece number 3 that you just glued it to. There's 1/4 to 1/2 an inch down there. And that is purposeful because I didn't want it to come down below and then just have to trim it off every time. And 9 1/2 is just a little bit too long. And I didn't want to get into 8s because I know most of you don't like working with 8s. So 9 1/4 was fine. It gives me enough room to be able to tuck that in somewhere. And there's still enough room to have a good old pocket right here. Okay, so there's my pocket. So I have top waterfall, second waterfall, pocket here, and pocket on this side. So it could be free floating. And this one looks nice on the back. Maybe I'll make that a free floating in a journal. Or I can glue the whole back down and have access to that pocket there and all of these and this pocket here. See how easy that is? Super easy. Now you can, if you want to, round the corners. I was in a scallop mood, so I scalloped the corners. And all these, everything I've touched up the last 2 days has been scalloped. Why? I'll show you how I did this with that opposite paper, and that would work on 2 coordinating papers as well. This is the one that goes in the back, so that's not going to work in this one. So now I will just take some, and maybe you don't want to put anything in it right now. You don't have to, but you can also take the scraps that you have from making this. Come on, pin. There we go. So I have a big scrap from the piece that I cut number 2 out of because that's a small piece. And I have little scraps, thin scraps from the piece that I cut the 2 larger pieces out of. So it'd be real easy to make tags and cards out of this and then use this. There's enough to cut this up and use it in a variety of ways to add to the green one, like that. Just put it on the front.
She says it's really cute.
Oh, thank you. I wanted something super easy but super fun that's really versatile. This is just across the top and just a tag to write on. You can write on the front and the back, or you could decorate the front and only write on the back. I kind of like, if I get writing, there's not enough space, I'll turn it over and write on the back. So I like having both sides. Okay, so you can just decorate in that way. I think I am going to scallop these corners. Still in a scallopy mood. Okay, so I've got the 2 waterfalls for sure. And then you can choose whether you want to come down here and scallop these. I like scalloping or rounding or something with the whole. There you can see it a little bit better. Maybe if I put it down there with the whole pocket. You think you're not doing that on a pocket because it's got multiple layers, and you can, and it's just gives it a little bit of character. So, this would be cute going through here with a stencil and just adding a little bit of vintage color like this on there, but I'm probably just going to leave it like that for writing space. You could add some ribbon across here or down here. You could add stickers, any kind of decor you want. And that kind of all depends on, usually to me, how decorative my paper is. This paper is really nice to look at, so I don't feel like I need to do much. Something like this might need a little bit more. This is pretty busy, so I don't know. Maybe I put something black on here, but doesn't need a whole lot. Okay, so let's take... I could even go quite a bit wider than that. down there. So just set the paper trimmer aside. Where did it go? I'm going to make a couple of quick cards with these scraps. I like to use up the scraps as much as possible with the project, so I just don't add them to my scrap bins. We got to do some things with scraps soon, guys. My scraps are building up bad. It's not in a good way. Okay, so I know that if this whole thing is 3.5 wide, and I'm going to stick this in the pocket, I know it's not going to get to 3.5 because I've got glue down there. Okay, so if I do it at 3, that would be just fine. Maybe 3 3/4, but it depends on how close to the edge I got with the glue. But I know I'm safe at 3, so I'll do it at 3 or slightly over, somewhere around there. Okay, and then I also know that I've got glue on both the top and the bottom of this, and so I need to find out where my point is that it's going to go in, and I could measure that, or I can take my lazy way, which just seems easier to me, and just mark it with a pencil. Yeah, that should go in. I might have gone a little bit long on that. Where's my mark? There it is. If so, I'll just have to trim that up a bit, but I think that'll work. Let's try it out. There we go. Yep, that goes in just fine. If I can hold it straight. If I hold it straight, it goes in just fine. If I hold it crooked, it does not. Okay, so let's take some of these scraps and see what we can do to embellish this a little bit. Do I want to scallop the corners of that to make it match? Do I want to use it, put a strip down the side? I like this vintagey strip over here, so I don't want to cover that. So do I just put something across the top like this? Would be matching. Or do I put something down the side? I could even cut this in half. Doesn't need to be that thick, that wide. And then scallop the corners. I think that is probably what I'll do. How long is this? This is almost 5. So if I'm going to cut this off at 5. I know I'm probably going to have to trim up just a hair because it's almost 5, but I'd rather trim it up than have it be too short. I can trim a hair off afterwards. Okay. And then I'm going to say half of that width will be sufficient. So this is 1.5 inches wide. So I'm going to take that down to 3/4. 3/4 of an inch. And that should be plenty right there. Make a nice little border. Okay. All right, so I'm going to glue that on, and I will start at this end, and I'm not going to go all the way to this end because I know I'm going to have to cut a tiny bit off, and I don't want it to be gluey when I cut it off. So when I get down there, I can put a little more glue under the edge after I cut it off. I'd rather add a little glue than have glue all over my cutter, paper trimmer, scissors, whatever it is using. So I'm just going to set that on the edge. I'm going to line it up with the top, line it up with the side. So who all is crafting along with us today? Who's making these?
I am.
Yay, Glennis. Oh, my goodness. I think I put the hashtag in the description box, didn't I?
Margie and May are talking about getting Margie's crap out of May's place. So Margie's giving us one excuse after another why she can't come and get it.
Oh, my goodness.
No passport across state lines, no car, she can't drive. Geez, Margie.
She's already figured out. She's got a whole list of reasons. So you better give up on me. Just give up now. Hard to beat Margie on that. That's fun.
I used a 12 by 12. If you use a 12 by 12,
you can a lot more scraps.
You can make another set with making everything 3 inches instead of 3.5, and you'll get another set.
Okay.
You'll get another set of a flip.
Oh, cool.
It's the only thing
And
different.
the only thing different is 3 inches instead of 3.5.
Yeah. And that way you get 2 sets out of the 12 by 12.
Perfect. And then did you have any scraps at all to make
Yeah,
tags?
I've got
A couple little ones.
I've got a double tag here flipped over,
Nice. Okay.
and I've got a tag in the pocket here.
Okay, cool. Okay,
And
so
then
here's
I
one
still have
card.
another big chunk here
Uh-huh. Oh,
for
yeah.
tags for the new one.
Yeah, you can do that. Awesome. That's a great idea. And it'll work with either one. So you just pick whichever you have most of, or whatever paper you want to use that coordinates with your project, or whatever you want to get rid of. You know, that's how you can decide. All right, so let's make a little bit bigger one to go in here. I think 3 inches should probably go in there because it's 3.5 wide. Got to allow for the glue. I'm not very good at gluing really super close to the edge, so I'm going to trim that down just a hair so it'll be easier to slide in and out. There we go. Okay, now let's put something. We're just doing just super basic, easy tags and or journal cards. These are not heavily decorated, and it's just completely using the scraps. So I'm not getting out anything else, just using the scraps. But you can embellish these however you want. So I'm going to put this one across the top. And, you know, adding something to the corner, like scalloping it or rounding the corner, is embellishing it. That does add something to it where you don't have to heavily embellish it. Okay. Make sure that's flush up at the top, flush on the left-hand side. There we go. And then I can just trim that off. Perfect. And let's give it some scallop corners so we add a little fancy to it without even having to put anything on it. There you go. So easy enough to put that in there. Okay, let me show you. Some of you I know have tag punches like this. So this one, let's see, I don't have any long thin ones left. Oh, this, that's even smaller, a little bit smaller. That's kind of skinny for a tag. So you can put a piece of paper in here that is 1.5 inches or 2 inches or 2.5 inches. And mine's never exactly the same. I'm always just grabbing scraps like this one. I don't think it fit in any of those. And I just put it in the next size up. Like, yeah, this didn't fit in the 2 inches, but it's too small for the 2.5. So I'll put it in the next size up. I put it in there, and then I just hold it. I center it between those two. I just have to center it because there isn't a guide there because it's too small, and then punch it. And it works. It doesn't have to be exactly what is there. So I can choose how wide do I want this to be. Total, I've got a little over 4.25, and I'd like to be able to do more than one. That's perforated edge. I'm going to cut just a hair of that off. So it's not perforated. I'd like to be able to do more than one thing with this. So if I go 2 inches, that should be just fine. And now 2 inches, I would, this, how long is it? I didn't look at how long it is. Almost 5.5. Wow. So it could go behind there. They're just about the same. I could make it a little bit shorter so that you can see one behind the other. I can leave them the same height because I like having those larger pieces for journaling. So let me think for a minute, because which end do I want to scallop with that? If I want to make this a little bit shorter, where would I want it to stick in the pocket? Maybe about there, just so you can see the other one behind it. I'm just going to cut off a 3/4 of an inch or an inch. Okay. And then I really like this vintaging on here, so I'm not going to cut that end. I'm going to go to the other end. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to see where it fits in here. I did make it about 2 inches, so it'll fit right into that 2-inch slot. It's actually slightly less than 2 inches, so I just need to hold it in centered. And then I'm going to punch out the top, and it gives me that. I see I didn't hold it in center. It was a little bit wonky, I can tell. And it gives me this. And I can tell that that's a little bit wonky because I got more on the one side than the other. So I can leave it, or I can trim it up with my scissors, or I could cut it off and do it again. Doesn't really matter. It's not that big a deal. It just reminds me that it's not perfect because it is handmade. Okay, so then I can take this piece that was cut off of here and take it over to my coordinating paper, and maybe I want to put a third tag in that's a little bit smaller even, and so maybe it would be about that height. Okay, and this is really skinny, but that's all I have left of this paper is skinny pieces. So I can take this and bring it over to the top. See, it even works on the skinny pieces where if it's a little bit wider, I would get the whole decoration there, but it's not, doesn't matter. And so I'm just going to center it on there. So let me put some glue on it. I'm not going all the way to the edge because I know I'm hardly getting past that center. Ooh, I think it fell upside down. That never happens. It always falls on the floor, sticky side down. Happened to anybody else? Always me. Okay, so I want it flush to the top, but I also want it centered left to right. Okay, and now it's hanging over. That's okay. I didn't put glue all the way to the edge, so I'm going to go over here and just trim those 2 sides off. Okay. Did I trim it crooked? Oh, kind of. Oh, kind of, just a little. All right. And so now I have a small tag that has the same shape as this one. So it just kind of ties them together because they share. That one went on the floor, but it has no glue on it. So I could put a hole in this one. I could use the hole that punched out of the other one, and I could put that right there and not make a hole in it. I can just put that right there so it looks like a hole. This is where I need those teeny tiny pointy tweezers. Just a little bit of glue on that, holding it tight so it doesn't fall off. And I will just center it on that little arch right there. Okay, and so the scraps that I cut off of the round one that is now on the floor, let me grab it. Became the topper for this other one. So I was able to use up some scraps and decorate it at the same time, so I didn't have to get additional decorations out. I will go ahead and scallop these corners. That will tie them all together. Okay, so there's the smallest one. Here's the center one. It kind of gets lost in here because it's green. The one that it's behind is green. So does it need something else? Does it need something else across the top, like the coordinating paper, which I could have put on first and then punched it? That would have been smart, wouldn't it? So coordinating paper across the top and then punch the hole. Let's do that. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this without getting glue everywhere, because we're not going to have glue around the hump or in the hole. So Yeah, that's a good trick, Marianne. You know, it's one of those brilliant moments of not thinking that I would need to do that first. And I'm not going to worry about having glue everywhere, because if I need to, after I've punched it, I can add a little bit more. I can add a little bit more glue. I feel like it's crooked. I'm going to line it up because my eye tells me it's crooked. Okay. Let's see if that's straight that way. Crooked the other way. Darn eye anyway. I'd rather I couldn't see when it's straight and not straight with my eye. Because then, okay. So I could take some scissors and just cut around that, but guaranteed I won't get it as smooth as that cut is. So I'm going to trim the excess off. And I know it'll fit into the 2-inch mark because it did the first time. So I can come down here and I can try to make sure it's centered this time. If the paper was just a hair wider, it would fit right along those guides better. There we go. So contrasting paper on the top, punched out the tag, took the punch out of the original one to put on here to make a contrasting top, and then let this one be a straight contrast and scalloped the corners of all of them. Whoops, didn't get that one scalloped yet. Let's do that. You could use a border punch and punch across the border with all of them, or put this down the side like the one that we put over here. This would be pretty. Instead of scalloping these two corners, you could do a border punch down the side. That would be pretty. I might even scallop those two. No, I'm going to leave it like that for a minute. It kind of looks like a book. I can think about that later. Okay, so that fits in there. And then I've got 1, 2, and 3 that will all go in there. And there's, you could decorate this if you want. Actually, mine is light enough that I could write on it if I wanted to continue from that space. And then there's the front. You could decorate that if you want. So there you go. You could do something on the back if you wanted to leave it free floating. I would just make sure that it is flat. Even if it's free floating and you use a paper clip on it, you still want it flat against the page so it doesn't stick out and then end up tearing the page because it's always getting caught. All right. Any questions on this super simple? Candy, not much going on in chat, huh?
Yep.
You're awfully quiet. That means they're being awfully quiet. So is everybody crafting along, or is everybody bored out of their mind? Nobody is?
Mm-mm.
Well, hello, just me and Glenn. Wow.
Everybody's writing them down.
Okay, writing them down, doing it later. I did record a tutorial making this, and it will be up shortly after we are done today. It's already loaded. I just need to get the thumbnail picture up there. This could probably use some pink on it, but it's okay. It might be a little. Have to put that in straight or it gets caught. Okay. I like that one. That's probably my favorite of all. Look at that. I could still do a green tag. I could do a green tag and use this one on the top of it. Excuse me. and use the whole thing. So get more than just that arch, get the entire thing. So let's see, put one more in there. Why not? Why not? We love to load it up with tags and cards. And if I put this in my idea book, it'll just remind me of all the easy ways to use scraps, some easy ways to use scraps to make coordinating cards and tags. You know, if you're making something for somebody and you like it all to be coordinating, have something that carries through so it looks like it's a set, it all goes together, this is an easy way to do it. Okay, so once that is down, then all I have to do is cut that excess off, make sure it's lined up on the left. All right. And there's got to be a little dot somewhere that came off of that as well, underneath something. So if you wanted to put that dot down there as well, you could. I'm sure it's underneath here. It has to be, because I didn't throw it away yet, which means it could also be on the floor. So little strips like this could go on, if you want to make a teeny tiny tag.
Would you be interested in seeing my variation?
What did you do different? Did you do the original one?
I did the original one first, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the smaller one that's at 3 inches.
Uh-huh.
Starts out the same.
Okay.
And next page is the same with my pocket. But what I did here is, instead of putting a side pocket, I put a side tuck and a pocket on the upper one.
Nice. So
And
then you glue that down and everything flips up.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a great
So
variation.
There's a pocket here and a pocket here.
Nice.
Otherwise, it's the same.
Yeah, it looks the same from the outside. And that's what I love about them is as you flip, you don't really know what you're going to uncover.
Yeah. And
So
on my
those are the
last
things
flip,
I like.
you know, I've got the 2 spots. I've got this spot and this spot.
Like that a lot. So you see, I mean, you see how the basic is so easy that you can make all kinds of variations with it and do all kinds of fun stuff. There's even one more small tag we did just using that scrap right there. Tuck that in. Now there's 4 tags in there all ready to go. I could even make a tiny pocket on here on one of these and stick the tag on, you know, in the pocket on the front as the embellishment. I like that, Glennis. I'm going to do one like that.
Margie liked it too. She had said lots of pockets. She said she was a kangaroo in a former life. She loved pockets.
Yeah. I'm with you,
one
Margie.
pockets and the one big pocket. I don't think I'd find it useful. I did do the original one exactly like you said. But I like this variation with the extra 2 pockets.
Yes, I do too. I always try to do the simple basic version so that everybody can do it and you can see how easy it is, and then you guys start doing variations and take it wherever you want. So and that's why we want to make sure you show your pictures, because then it inspires others. And somebody might think, oh, I never even thought about doing that. I didn't think about doing what Glennis did until she said, instead of a side pocket, I went, oh, I'll bet she flipped that last one up too. But I hadn't thought about that to this point. Of course, you know, I only talked to her yesterday and created it yesterday. So
you created a lot since yesterday.
Yeah, it was, was it yesterday that we did it? That we talked?
I think so.
Okay. It was last night about 7
late.
o'clock. Yeah, it was kind of late. It was like 7 o'clock. So yeah, I said, I got to go now. I have an idea. And I just sat down and that's what I made. So then I recorded the tutorial this morning. So that will be ready to go up. Okay. So I want to use
I think you came up with a great idea here. I really like doing this.
Now take one that you're going to put, thank you, Glennis. Take one that you're going to put in your idea book, and you can just write down, this is piece number 1, what the dimensions are and where you're scoring it. This is piece number 2, what the dimensions are and where you're scoring it. And piece number 3, what the dimensions are and where you're scoring it, just to get the shape. Because then you know that you can not glue that down. You can have the pocket on the side. You can have a pocket on the back. You can flip it up. You can do anything with it as long as you've got the dimensions of your basic. And then, you can make it smaller. You can make it bigger. Just make them all the same ratio. And all you need to do is, just have enough here that you can see that flap. It breaks up the color there and gives your eye some contrast. And so that is in my idea book. It's ready to.
She loved it. She said, but Lord only knows when she'll make one.
Well, not while it's 155 degrees in there with no air conditioning. That's for darn sure. And I don't blame you, Margie. Let's see. I do have some scraps. I want to use them. I want to make some things with these. All right. So I did that one. Well, I've got the scraps here. Rather than throw them into my scrap bin. Oops. I didn't mean to ticket stub that, but I guess I did. So they can both be ticket stub. All right. Well, I've got the scraps here. I want to make the tags and things to go in with it so it's a complete piece. And I'm not just adding the scraps to my scrap bin because, it's like Margie just said, I'm not going to go dig them out later and make stuff with them to go with this because who knows where this will be or if I'll have already used it by the time I do that. So I've got a few more scraps up here. Go with that. That one goes with that. I thought I had more, but I'm not seeing more. That one's a different piece. All right. Well, this is because I did this all out of one sheet. It was a 12 by 12, and I did it out of one sheet and just flipped this one over. So this was all that was left from that one sheet. Okay, so let's see. I would like to have the contrast on the top of this. So if I glue that on right there, how about we'll make the writing right side up? I can't even tell which way is the right side up. I think it's this way. Okay. Let it come down. Needs to be flush with the top. Okay. So I'm going to try to do this trick again. We'll glue it on after the fact. It would have been easier to glue on before and cut. But as long as it's staying attached, I can put more glue on it afterwards if I need. I just don't want glue oozing out into my punch. Okay. I really like putting the things in the journal that even if it's free floating, you take it out and there's more inside it to find. And I'm like Glennis. I like the flips and the flaps and the, it's always stuff hidden that you don't see at first that you have to go find. And even when you think, okay, I'm going to flip those two waterfall things up, there's probably something underneath them, but then you don't realize that the bottom one comes up too, or there's a side pocket or a back pocket. I like all the hidden things. The more hidden things, the better in my mind. That's why I love the architecture of those really old houses that have, push the wall here and it's really a door, a hidden door. The hidden staircase, go find the hidden room.
Yeah, the staircases that you don't know where they're going to end up.
Yeah, I love those. Love the hidden rooms, the hidden spots. Oh, that one was thick and hard to punch. I'll keep that one.
He loves hidden things too.
Yeah. And little tiny, I didn't have time. I was going to make a little teeny tiny one. Just didn't have time for it, but I will. Maybe I'll do that next. I just want to get the embellishments or the tags done for tags and cards for these that I already did. Okay, so that one goes back here. I could put one on the other side too. That is this. And turn it around either way. But it doesn't matter. And both sides can be written on. I do like that. The double-sided is nice when at least one side is light enough to write on. Otherwise, I really don't mind the single-sided because it's not like jumping out glaring at you, and you can offset it with a little bit of ink. Okay. Let's see what I've got left here. I've got a little one there and a long one there, and this is all I have left. I do have more of this paper though. But I want to use the scraps. That's what I really want to use right now. Look at that. How interesting. It got part of the one that was already there. So which side? Nope. Too busy over there. Unless I did this direction. So either this one goes here. I kind of like this. It's got like, it looks layered. It's just a little teeny tiny layer in there. I'm sorry, say it again.
Dana has come in.
Hey, Dana, how are you? You know, that reminds me, we've had a lot of new people recently, and it's so exciting to get, you know, new people that come in and post pictures and inspire all of us. Really, really enjoy that. And the people that y'all have invited in have been wonderful, just joining right in and participating in the lives and posting their creations, because it inspires all of us. And I want to remind you of 2 challenges. One is Laura's challenge, that if you invite one person into the group and they join the group and also subscribe to the YouTube channel, then Laura will send out a pack of cards, playing cards, game cards, all kinds of things like that. And she's just generously donating that to help us get towards our goal of 1,000 subscribers. And so if you invite one person, then if you're not sure if they've subscribed to YouTube, you can ask me and I can double check that. But then Debbie made the beautiful foliolio out of the Stamperia Passion paper. And that challenge is for everybody who invites 12 people. And a lot of you have invited more than 12 people and have more than 12 people who have joined the Facebook group. But we need to get them into the YouTube, subscribing to the YouTube page. So half of the challenge is met by inviting them into the Facebook group. Is there a way to share or invite somebody to a YouTube page? I didn't even think about that before, or looking into that.
Well, you can share a YouTube page with anybody.
Okay, so you can go, we could go in and get the link and then share it with, send it to some of the same people that we invited into the group and say, hey, just want to make sure that you've had a chance to subscribe to the Happy Paper People YouTube channel, because that's where a lot of the fun happens. A lot of the fun happens on YouTube. So we definitely want to get them subscribed. Now, if you are one of the new people that's come in the last couple of weeks, you can get in on this challenge. It is not only for those who were already here. So if you invite 12 people in, and the easiest way to do that is on your phone or your computer, go to the Facebook group, the private group, and at the top it has invite. You just touch the invite button, and then it will bring up all of your friends in YouTube. And you can scroll through them and pick and choose which
on Facebook.
What did I say?
YouTube.
I'm sorry, on Facebook. Oh, in the private Facebook group. Happy Paper People Facebook group. Yes. Yes. And then just scroll through all your Facebook friends and you can pick and choose. It's not going to automatically send them to everybody. When you hit invite, it doesn't do that. You have to go through your entire list and pick and choose whoever you want to invite, but you can search and just find one name if there's somebody in particular you're thinking about, or you can scroll through your list and just pick and choose who you want. And then when you hit invite again, it will send an invitation to those people that you invited. Now, so you know, if you personally invite them like that, when they come in, when they click that they will come into the group, they don't have to answer those questions, because they were already invited by somebody in the group, they have automatic entrance. So you may not have known that. And then if you'll take the link is in the description box below, the link to the YouTube channel, and then maybe just send that as a private message to some of those people that you invited that did come into the group, and get them to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So June 25th, which is the last Saturday night of June, it is our Saturday Night Live, and that is the night that we will give away Debbie's gorgeous folio made of passion. And I think it's May 23rd, if I remember right. There is a 12-minute video that was done just before our math make, where she does a flip through and shows you that folio. So you can go back and take a look at it. It is definitely worth inviting 12 people. It is a gorgeous folio. So both Laura and Debbie have generously donated the folio and all the packs of cards. And we'll be doing some things coming up with playing cards or game cards or, ATC size type things. And it's kind of fun to start with some that have stuff on them already. So if you invite one person, get a free pack of that and you'll be ready to go for those things. So even if you just came into the group in the last week or so, you can jump on that and do that as well. There is no limitation on that one as to who is eligible. And then the big grand prize, as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel right here, and you'll be able to look at your YouTube that you're on right now and see where we're at. I want to say it's like 620 something. Then we are going to have a drawing and give away a box that I have been filling with crafty goodies. It is almost full, and it's got just tons of stuff and such a variety of stuff in it. And everybody who has commented on any video on our YouTube channel and left in the comment or after the comment somewhere, left in there, hashtag 1,000 subs, or is it hashtag HPP 1,000 subs?
1,000 subs.
Okay, either way, if you did hashtag HPP 1,000 subs, or if you did hashtag 1,000 subs, SUBS, for subscribers, I will pull both of those so that everybody gets in the drawing. And you get in the drawing again for every single comment you leave on any video. So as soon as we're done today, you can jump right back on this video that won't be live anymore, but it'll be in there, and leave a comment about today, put the hashtag in. You can do that on Mondays, on Thursdays, on Saturdays, and you can go back and watch any of the ones in the past, or if you watched them and forgot to leave that or didn't know about it, go back and just add that in the comments. Get yourself in the drawing. And I know she's going to kick me under the table for telling you this, but you guys, Glennis is on top of this. Glennis wants that box.
You keep trying to give my box away.
I know. Glennis has been with us for probably since about the inception of Happy Paper People.
Mm-hmm.
And so she knows what kind of things to expect in that box. She's been around for some giveaways.
And she wants some.
And she wants them. She wants that box. And Glennis is getting her comments in on all the videos. She's watching them, leaving a comment. You can put them on double time. You just hear me talk like a chipmunk. Just put them on double time, get some ideas. Watch it to the end. I would ask that, if you put it on double time, let it go to the end, because that affects the algorithm. If you only go in and watch 2 or 3 minutes, it really affects the algorithm and will get us pushed down instead of being put up on the top of people's, you might like this list. And what we want to do is get up there on the you might like this, so new people will see it and come subscribe and get us to 1,000 subscribers. So put it on double time, let it play all the way through, and get your hashtags in there. Either that or you're just giving it away to Glennis.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate the help.
Already said you understand why you put that teeny tiny piece of paper at the top of your tags there. That was just a decorate.
Oh, doesn't understand why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
She's been busy peeling, coring, dicing tomatoes all day because she's just taking a break. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's just the offcut of this when I make this tag. And so if I put it on a coordinating piece of paper, it just makes a little embellishment, little decoration, coordinates. So just so it's not a plain piece of card. It's the easy, quick way to embellish something without having to drag out a bunch of embellishments, and it uses up those scraps. So, you know how Dana says she lives out rural, and she, out working in the tomatoes or whatever other thing she has in the garden, because I suspect she has an amazing garden. I know where Dana lives. She lives only about 30 minutes, if that, from where I used to live in Arizona. So that's kind of cool. Hopefully when I come to Arizona, I'll get a chance to meet you in person, Dana.
Judy just sent me a message.
Okay.
Her power is out, so she
no.
Yeah, she's lost her power, so she'll come back later. But for now,
shoot, so sorry. Yeah, we thought it would be Margie who'd lose her power. This time it was Judy. So sorry, Judy. Hope you get to come back and watch the end. Leave a comment. Okay, here's another one. Those of you who came in a little later. This one is just made of paper, not cardstock. So I just cut out 2 tags and took a scrap of the opposing paper, the complementing paper, and just put them together like that, just to make it a little bit stronger. And that's tiny. Gets lost down there. So I need to make.
She has an easier way to get rid of those little scraps.
Yep, it's right below the desk. Either brush it on the floor or brush it right into the trash can that's down here. But if I want to decorate them and I don't use these, then I'm going to have to pull out some embellishments. And I just really don't feel like doing that. So these can be my embellishments. And then whatever is left that doesn't get used, little teeny tiny pieces, can get thrown away. How's that? So let's do, I don't have one big enough to do. Yeah, it'll make a little book. All right. So if I take this one, I don't know if it's square. Let's find out. Nope.
And if you ladies haven't already given us a thumbs up, go ahead and do that now, please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Thumbs up.
Mark.
Okay. So if that's the long way, let's do this way. I'm going to make just a little quick double journal card by folding that in half. This is the biggest scrap I have left, so I'm going to fold that in half, and I'm going to take the complementing paper. Here's the black, and I'm just going to make a little spine out of it like that. I did score that, and it didn't get scored all the way down because I was only using part of the paper. So those of you who are making the journal with us on Monday, I recorded the part 3. Part 1 and part 2 were getting the cover all together, getting it covered inside and outside, putting the ring or eyelet on it, and then yeah, that was it. Okay, so part 3 is sewing the signatures in, and I recorded that. That is all ready to go. It'll probably go up tomorrow morning. I just got to get the thumbnail up on that one too. So, but what I wanted to tell you was, those of you who want to know how to bind your signatures in using a template, I showed you on this video, this tutorial, and it's only an hour long, so you can put it on double time if you want. Or if you haven't sewn all your signatures in, watch it. Get the signatures sewn in. I don't want anybody to get left behind on their book was never finished. But this one, I showed you an easy way to make a template, and then how to use that template and keep that template, because you can use the same one for any other book that you're doing that might have 1, 2, 3, even up to 5 signatures in it. with that one template. And I just used cardstock to make the template so that it's, you could use chipboard or something if you wanted to. Not necessary. I just took a scrap piece of cardstock, and there's the template. Just you can see. But I showed you how to make that and then how to bind the signatures in using the template. Super, super easy. Some of you may find that easier than the way we did it in the live. And that's why I did that, so that the live would have one way and the tutorial would have the other way. Whichever way you prefer. Okay, so there's our teeny tiny little journal spot there. Can go either direction. So put that in behind there. What have we got left? Not a whole lot.
I do have her monkey and drop him off at the gym. Have a great night.
Have fun. I do have more of this paper too, so I could. What's this one? Oh, cool. There's a long piece. Well, how about if I folded that in half? It's still going to be short. I was hoping to get something long. All right, so, but this paper it's just regular paper, and so it's kind of thin. I really do like it doubled. What if, this is where you just look at your scraps and say, what can I do with them? How can I turn that into a writing spot? Everything can be turned into something. Let me take those two. I'm going to take this skinny little one here. I'm going to see if I can score that down the center, because it will be a whole lot easier to fold if it is scored. That's a 1/2 inch. So I should be able to score that at an 1/8. It's so awkward when it's small like that because you can't hold it down and get in there to score it at the same time. Okay.
I've got a little bitty one here that I made.
Oh, cute.
It's a little guy. Same principle.
Perfect. There you go. Show that. Yeah. Super cute. We all love teeny tiny.
My next paper. I've done one out of my next paper.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's pretty. And you know what? All these little tiny embellishments would be great on the little bitty, a little bitty one.
Yeah.
Okay. So all I'm going to do here is put some glue down the center. I only need to go as far as this white one is long. So I'll start down there because I just kind of held it up to it. Oopsie. And it's hard to hold. It's so tiny and it's folded in half. I'm going to put a little bit down each side. It's not going to take much. All right. And then I'm going to bring these two. They're not even the same size. I will make them the same size. So I just want to bring them together. Make sure they're the same on the top. Make sure they're both in there flush. All the way in. All the way in. There we go. Okay, burnish that down. All right. Then all I have to do is chop that off right there. And chop that off right there. And it's just easier to work with because it's double, because it's such thin paper. Let that dry. And let's see. And let the corners go. Scallop goes well with the flowers anyway. There we go. You could actually bind some little papers in there and make it a mini book. I like doing that too on that one or this one. Didn't do the corners on this one. Just take even 3 or 4, 5 pieces of paper, fold them in half, and bind them in there and have a teeny tiny book. Okay, so now we've got a tall one, a medium one, and a little small one. That should be good. And the one over here. That'll work for that. Oh, whoa, there's another piece. More pieces. Get some of these scraps up. The only thing about this silicone mat, I love it, except you can't brush anything off of it because it's all sticking to it. Silicone. All right. I don't know if I had any paper left of this one. Did that. And there's 2 over there. There's a little bit. Actually, I could put that right across the top, make a little tiny belly band, and stick something in there too. Why not? Oop, our 10-minute warning. Warning sounds so awful. 10-minute warning. Our 10-minute babysitter. That direction. I'm going to cut that off first, so I'll know exactly where to glue. Now I can lift that up and know I'm right on the edge. Candy, have you gotten any made?
No, I'm over at the other desk.
Good. Okay, so now let's see. Do we have, I don't know if I have anything right here to go inside that belly band. I'm going to have to go get another piece of paper. I'll do that later. Okay. All right. So when you made your tiny one, Glennis, did you refigure dimensions or did you just cut it down all by the same amount? Like cut everything down by 1 inch or 2 inches?
I just eyeballed it.
Eyeballed it. Yep.
That's what I usually do.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes eyeballing is just easier. Okay.
The bigger ones, I've been measuring them exactly, which for me is very unusual.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to grade the little one.
Yeah. All right. I'll get some of these thrown away. So don't forget to post these in the group. I think the hashtag's in the description box. I believe it is.
Mass Make Double Pocket Waterfall.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, post them in the group. Put your hashtag on it. Okay. A few more of those we could do something with. We've got less than 10 minutes, so I might have some time to make a teeny tiny one. Don't have enough of that paper. But I do have, I know I do have another sheet of that paper. The question is, where on this shelf of paper is it exactly? Let's see here. Oh, I actually pushed it back in when I was pulling them out because I thought I'm only going to pull out one of each. And now I can't remember exactly where it was that I pushed it back in. Oh, of course. That would be pretty with something. There's all the black and white. I know it was on this shelf. They all were. Oh, this would be kind of cool. What if that would... That's crossword puzzle. I don't know. Does that go with that? I could write on that side.
Margie can't figure out why she wants to crochet when it's so hot, but that's what she's doing.
Have that warm yarn sitting on your lap.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not as warm as that cute kitty cat sitting on your lap. Because when it's warm, it's very irritating when you can't get cool, and it makes your fingers want to move and do something. Oh, that is tough. I'm so sorry, Margie. Hope we get it fixed soon. Well, by the time I find that piece of paper, we'll be done. Because, I know it's
Margie says Cuppy isn't all that lovely.
Oh, I think she's very cute.
I'm telling Cuppy.
Really? I'm telling on you, Margie. Cuppy's going to get mad at you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there's some maps. That would be kind of cool. I had to do some with some marble. Oh, I thought that was open. Well,
Lovey, not lovely.
she's very lovey, not very lovely. Oh, maybe she's feeling awfully
She
warm.
said
too,
lovey,
right
and I
now.
said lovely. She said lovely. I said lovely.
Yeah, Cuppy's probably just as hot as you are and not feeling all that lovey right now. Thank goodness. Oh, I hate these little tape things on the sides.
Oh, I know. I hate them freaking things.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Okay, that would be pretty to make some out of marble, huh? Ooh, like that and that. Pretty. Oh, there's a whole bunch of different ones. I think I need. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's pretty. Sunflower. Green. There we go. There's my favorite. Really pretty teal. And purple. I need a purple one for my purple journal that's coming soon, someday. All the different colors. But I don't have much purple ephemera, I don't think.
I have more than enough.
But purple?
Yeah, remember I had to make that thing for
Oh, yeah.
purple.
So you've got a lot of purple ephemera.
Oh, yeah.
I should do the covers to those and have them sitting on the shelf so that every time I make ephemera of a color, I can just put it with it in a little bag or something so I could see how much I actually do have of each color.
Yeah, because I had it all separated. Margie wants to know where that paper came from.
This is an American Crafts brand. Is this you guys? I love marbled paper. You guys like marbled paper a lot. Is this something you'd want me to put on the website?
Sometimes it depends on the colors for me.
Yeah, totally. And then, like, here's another one. It's only 6 by 6, but I love it. These I always see as in the inside of a cover, like the end paper, the book end paper. These are just gorgeous. Same company, so I might get both of these because I sure like them. I always hesitate to use them for other things, even though there's, I don't know, 100 sheets in here. I'm like, I need to save those to put on the inside of little books. Yeah, do 100, like I need 100 of them for little books, right? But they're just like those old time ones that we get. We love those covers. You can make your own and make it look like that. The cool marbling. Ooh, look at that black and white one. That's pretty.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
When are we going to do the string art?
String art. Oh, you mean like the string with the alcohol ink?
Yep.
Okay. That's a good question. That sounds like
Margie loves marble paper.
Oh, me too. That sounds like a Monday jumpstart of a bunch of different things to do with alcohol ink, doesn't it?
Sure. I love the alcohol inks. I'd love to have nothing but alcohol inks. That's great.
Yeah, and I think, the string art doesn't take that long. Spending 2 hours doing it would be quite some time. But I could probably spend 2 hours just making fun pieces to be able to use. But to show you how to do it doesn't take that long. But it's funny. It's like, even after doing it, like sometimes it turns out perfectly, very cool. Other times I'm looking at it and like, that looked like crap. It's kind of like all those other things with the mediums and the media. You never know exactly what you're going to get. But it is fun, and it's fun to try different combinations of alcohol ink with it. I wonder if I have that close by. I'm sure there's some people wondering, what are we talking about? If I have them right close by, I will show you samples. I don't know if I do. If I do, they're right here. So let's see. I know I kind of kept them out because we talked about doing them
Long time ago.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm going to write this down because we need to do the string with alcohol ink, and we need to do the what are they called? The wax. What are they called? Oh my goodness.
Seals.
Wax seals. Thank you. Wax seals, making them and different ways to use them. Okay. And
I've got my wax and I have my seal and I've never used them.
Oh, all right. We got to do that. We got to do that. Candy will have to be doing it with me on that day because she's done it a lot. And so she can be the craft along.
That sounds
All
good.
right. So it took me 10 minutes to find the paper, and now we are out of time. So I'm going to make some with some of these, but I will do that off in my own time. First, I'm going to go get the thumbnails up on those tutorials so that if you wanted to go back and watch them, they are there. If there's somebody that you know in another group or a friend that you think would like to see some of the techniques or some of the different things that we do here and there, grab whatever video that is and share just that video with them even. And tell them that you'd love to have them subscribe to Happy Paper People and join us, because those will be the creative people that will help inspire everybody as well. So we will keep watching. We've got till the 25th. We've got right up until the afternoon of the 25th, and we've had more than 100 new members in the Facebook group. We just have not had 100 new subscribers on YouTube, so we know that most of them just aren't aware that the Facebook group is there. And everybody's like all of us. We belong to so many groups. It's hard to keep up with everything in every group. So if somebody sends me a personal invitation, I tend to take a minute and look at it. Where, if it's just posted in the group, I might not ever even see it because I don't have time to go to every group that I'm in. So even if I get a notification, so I've posted it in the group, but a lot of people may not have notifications turned on, and they may not have had time to even come into the group and see what's going on in there because they belong to other groups that they are involved in. So don't hesitate to grab the link, which is in the description box, the link to the YouTube channel, and just private message it out to, a couple of friends or people that you already invited into the Facebook group. That's who we really want to share it with, is the people that you've already invited into the Facebook group, so that they can join us here as well and get full magnitude of Happy Paper people. I wish I had local crafty local friends too, Margie. Angie Stone lives not too far away from me, but other than that, I don't even know anybody that is close by that, you guys are closest by across the country. Oh, thanks for joining us, everybody. Anybody who did make them or who does take some time and make them afterwards, we definitely want to see your photos in the group. I will take photos and get mine in there. I take the photos and then I forget to go post them in the group. I'll have to remember to do that. It's always something more important, like getting the tutorials up for you. So it's been fun hanging out with you. And let's all throw a big wish Margie's way and Judy's way that they get their power back. Definitely want you to get your power back. Meanwhile, ice cold washcloths around your neck, even over your head, whatever. You live alone, so nobody says what you have to wear. I'm leaving it at that. Family channel. and hopefully the power comes back on pretty soon. So love you guys. We'll see you in the group. And today is Thursday. So we'll see you in the group. I'll be headed out of town Sunday. So the next time I'll see you live will be on Monday. And we'll actually be live with my phone. I got to figure out where I'm going to take you, where we're going to go. So happy crafting, happy paper people. Happy paper people create. You want to keep everybody happy so everybody can create. No power, no computer. Yeah, really. Oh, Margie, yours came back. No, it didn't. Did it come back on? No, it did come back on because you're on the computer. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, it's Judy that's out right now. So yeah. Okay, guys, sounds good. Thank you, Candy, and thank you, Glynis, for participating with me
today. These were a lot of fun to make. I really like these.
Oh, good. I really love your variation, and I need to make some teeny tiny ones. Margie's got to make some teeny tiny ones.
Well, I want to make one smaller than the little one I've got now. It's about 3 inches by an inch. I want to make a smaller one just for Margie.
It's 3 by 1.
This is about 3 inches by 1 inch. Yeah.
Oh, cute. I'll do something smaller. Candy, you started to say something?
I said they all came out great.
Yeah, they did.
I got one finished.
Oh, yay.
Great.
Ooh, that's pretty. That is pretty. Hang on here. Oh, love the paper. Yep.
I have to round the corners yet, but anyway.
That's okay. Yeah, that's all right. You can do that. All right, guys. Thanks again. We'll see you in the group. Love y'all.
Bye.